When it comes to Canadian food, we've got your back with flavors like lemon pepper, beer batter, campfire barbecue, lemon pepper dill, garlic butter and chives, and crispy Cajun. We've got a mix for every meal. Whether you're serving East Coast shrimp, West Coast salmon, succulent walleye, chicken wings, or veggies, we've got you covered. Coat your food in outdoor flavors. Available online or at these fine.
Good evening, gents. How are we doing this evening?
Scottie, that is the first time I've seen those commercials. That is, wow, sexy.
Yeah, they are sexy.
Dallas, did you see those reels? Oh, my gosh.
That looked awesome. How are you guys doing? Good to see you, Scottie.
You as well, Dallas. It's been a while. How you been coping over the last long, I want to say little while, but it's been a long while.
It's been a long while. We're doing okay here.
Good.
Got a family. We love being home together, so it's been all right.
Fantastic.
Looking forward to more outdoors activity, though.
Yes. Speaking of which, that's why we're here. It's what brings the three of us together tonight. We are talking FishOFF, and CFN FishOFF.
Yes.
So, Mike, you want to start us off?
Yep. So the reason why Dallas is here with us today, and many of you know Dallas because he helped out with some other tournaments, but you might have not known Dallas has never helped out with the spring FishOFF. He's helped out with, with the Fall Brawl and SummerSlam and Winter Fish Fest, but never with the spring FishOFF. And we have our team of CFN judges for the spring FishOFF. But once we hit 150 teams registered, my phone and my notifications just blew up. We're like, what? I thought we're starting June 5th. I didn't register yet. So we're like, it's so much work to grade 300 anglers across the country over that period of time. And like our judges have no life. So we called Dallas and said, hey, can you join the team? Because we need to extend our registration past 150 and we can't do it without another member. So Dallas, welcome aboard. Thank you for opening up to more than 150 teams. And tell us about registration when you opened it and what numbers you saw and what you noticed.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Super excited. Thanks so much for having me. From the Fall Brawl and SummerSlam that I love connecting with this community, seeing people's catches from coast to coast. And so it's my pleasure and honor. I'll be participating, but I've got a goal of about 5 target species. If I hit that, I'll be really proud. But super happy to be joining the team of judges and the opportunity to learn from all the great anglers across the country. Looking at our teams, we're up over 170 now. And we're making a big push to get representation from every province and territory. We had a team from PEI join us yesterday, which is fantastic. And we're just looking for one more from the Northwest Territories. So if you've got angler buddies or you want to go out on social media and let people know, maybe you've got a favorite lodge up there, let's go on and get at least one team from the Northwest Territories so we can call this a truly online coast to coast tournament. But yeah, it's really, really exciting.
You had a great idea. If we manage to achieve that and manage to get a Northwest Territories team in, and we have teams from all across Canada in all the other provinces, do we do a giveaway at that point?
We should. We're going to have to think about what that giveaway is and somehow relate it to a Canada theme or Canada-wide something or other. But Dallas, you're telling me, because I've been looking at the numbers, but I haven't looked at the distribution. You're telling me every single province has at least one team?
Yep, every one. We've got Ontario coming in big, of course. We have 98 entries from Ontario. And then look at Saskatchewan, just over 1 million people in Saskatchewan, but maybe they all fish. 20 teams out of Saskatchewan, 19 in Alberta, 11 in BC, 8 in Manitoba, and then smaller numbers from the others, but it would be great to get those up too. So if you weren't mentioned just now, or you've got friends in those areas, let them know. And we've got registration for a few more days yet, and happy to accept more. We've got enough judges to handle the work.
Right on. And Saskatchewan, big shout out to them. They do us very proud. I would say definitely one of the most active chapter pages that we have, and it's nice to see a good contingent of our followers that are going to be participating. I think that's awesome. So shout out to the province of Saskatchewan.
So that's BC all the way to PEI, including Yukon and Nunavut.
And Nunavut, yes.
Wow.
And our Nunavut entry asked a question. They said, can we ice fish? And well, of course you could ice fish. You follow the regulations like everyone else, and no one else will be ice fishing, but go to it.
Well, we did. It's funny you say that, because we did a Trout Tuesday feature, and it's what trout fishing looks like up in Nunavut right now. You see a lot of our CFNers down here to the south, wading in rivers. They have short sleeves on. This young lad, I think his name was Jackson, he's in a snowmobile suit. Lord only knows how thick the ice is, and he's got a snow-covered trout in both of his hands. So it looks a lot different up there than it does down here when it comes to trout fishing.
Yeah, that's really something that's so special about this community, right? And seeing the communities and the biomes and the nature and everything along with the species. It just really makes watching those videos so interesting when we have such widespread representation like that. So yeah, it's awesome.
Still 7 feet. I believe that's probably Douglas. That is the team up in Nunavut. Still 7 feet of ice.
Wow. Oh. 7 feet. We're not talking about inches. We're talking about feet.
Oh, smoke.
I don't know what that ice auger looks like, but I'm curious.
Speaking about provinces and territories, I just wanted to thank some of those who stepped up and decided, you know what? Because our province has so many registrants, we're going to put together a prize pack for our province. So BC, Lighthouse Lures, thanks Cliff for hooking us up with that. BC has a provincial province, so the top point getter in BC will get a provincial prize pack. Saskatchewan Fishing Club, they've stepped up and they're going to put a prize pack together. Cat McIntosh, thank you for putting a prize pack together for Ontario. I got to look at my list, but there are some provinces that don't have a prize pack
So
yet.
Mike, what I'm going to do in the very near future is I am going to be posting the chapter logos, and I'll make sure that I include all of the provinces and hopefully Northwest Territories as well. What we'll do is we will tag on that post, we will tag the companies that are stepping forward to give out provincial prizes and hopefully draw in a few more.
All right. So thank you to all those companies. This is what makes the CFN FishOFF amazing, bringing the country together and free stuff for something we do, even if we wouldn't get prizes.
Amen. All right, moving on to number 2, pre-tournament prize pack update.
Okay, so at the top of the CFN FishOFF page, you will see a pin post, and to qualify for that pre-tournament prize pack, all you got to do is tag a friend who is not registered. Tag your friend who is not registered, and thank you for Dallas for joining our team, because if you tag a friend who is not registered and they end up registering, you'll get 5 additional ballots into our pre-tournament prize pack. If you tag someone, you're automatically in 1 ballot. If they register, that's another 5 ballots. So that's a total of 6 ballots into our prize pack. And on the registration, Dallas, and you can let me know, there's a bunch of new registrations with referrals. So if someone says, yeah, you know what, I signed up and this person referred me, that means you have 5 ballots into this prize pack draw. And there's a bunch of referrals there already, right, Dallas?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great opportunity to win prizes. Just please make sure you're not referring yourself. We're not putting those through, and it's a little more admin to pull your names out when you're referring yourself to the tournament. But get the buddy to join you, and then have them be the ones that register, and you can work it all out.
My apologies, Dallas. I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, it's fine.
Let me show you some of the stuff. We saw that commercial. Dallas, have you tried this yet?
I have not.
Oh, Scottie, tell Dallas how delicious this is.
So it is, and all of their flavors are, Dallas. The thing that's so cool about Outdoor Flavors is it is all fresh, organic ingredients. There's very little sodium. There's no MSG. It is high quality ingredients that go into it. And I think the great segue, Mike. This Thursday we're going to be announcing the CFN cook-off that is going to be running, which will include Outdoor Flavors. So stay tuned to that. Cameron Tate's going to be joining us on another TNT Thursday, which will include Stuart Brown, who's going to explain how we're going to do the cook-off. So
that's in the prize pack. We have a bunch of plastics. Impact Baits is there. You love these, Scottie, from North Shore Tackle.
Dude, I was talking to David yesterday about that new design. That shad, Great Lakes shad, that's a go-to, man. That's my tackle box is going to be full of those. It looks beautiful.
Thank you to Ugly Boy Baits and Sid Fish's Jigs. Just some stuff I pulled out from the prize pack. Blackfly lures, you'll get a couple of those. Spinner baits. Dallas likes pike, and I know that would do very well with pike.
That would.
Absolutely.
One of our newer sponsors, Madcam Plastics. So like a TRD rig put on a mushroom head. You know what I like, Scott? And I saw from your post, you could take like a Madcam plastic and then stick it on an Ugly Boys Baits mushroom head, like putting sponsors together.
Absolutely, dude. And I'm trying to do that with the drop shot rig. Just give different varieties of what folks can fish with, and hopefully include some of our sponsors. As I said, a lot of people didn't know that Ugly Boys does the drop shot weights. They do a fantastic job, and they work amazing. So if you're looking for some, reach out to Ugly Boys.
We got some rod glove wraps
Beautiful.
In there as well. And then these are new. These are from Team Chrome Chasers, and they've been part of the FishOFF since the beginning. But now they make these new rod ties, and they made some CFN colors. So this with the rod glove, amazing. So we'll put a couple of those in the prize pack. And then the big thing in the prize pack is this whole jig box. And
getting jiggy with it. I like it, man. That's awesome.
Full. It is full. So that's in the pre-tournament prize pack as well.
Beautiful. Right on. Well, going back to review number 3, you're up for this, Dallas. You've been following the situation. Obviously, we're going to be consulting right after this live and in the future before we can officially announce the date. But tell us some of the restrictions that you foresee in various provinces.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Scottie. I just want to thank everyone for your patience in waiting for us to be able to launch this tournament, and thank everyone for taking the precautions necessary to take care of one another. We're on the home stretch here. Lots of vaccinations happening at a really high rate. And, hopefully in the fall, we will be sitting around a fire together with people from outside our household. But right now, it's really important that because we're communicating and sharing on social media. So everyone, we all have our different opinions, but we are all ambassadors and representatives of the CFN FishOFF. And so we need to be absolutely clear that we need to follow the regulations, whatever those are in whatever province we're from. And so just quickly looking at a couple things in Ontario we might want to be aware of. We've got a recreational boating guidance right now where you need to be from the same household, and there is an exception of one person from another household that lives alone, or there is exceptions for caregivers for a person on the boat as well. So that's one example. And then outdoor gatherings guidelines in Ontario right now are still limited to 5 people. And so we need to, and in addition with distancing of 2 meters with that. So I just encourage you to go through, read the regulations, and obey the travel advisories or restrictions. Hopefully things will be opening up a lot more in the coming days and weeks. And I think we'll get our opportunities to get out there. But, please don't travel far and wide and put those posts up, because we'll actually need to pull them, I think, because again, we're representing this community and we need to follow the guidelines in place, but we're going to get there. So just stick with it. And, it's been a long haul, but we've got a little longer and we can do it.
Absolutely. So what I would suggest, and Cliff, thanks so much for putting that comment up. BC just announced today that June 15th, we can travel outside our geographical area for recreation. That is definitely great news. So what I would probably suggest is it may happen for all anglers, that eventually there will be no travel restrictions and you will be able to go wherever. My suggestion is, for right now, when the first week starts, target species in your own backyard. We have to limit your travel. In fact, it is the law as it is right now. Hopefully it changes. But as Cliff just mentioned, on the 15th, so what I would be doing is fishing in your area as much as you can, get as many of those species as possible within your area. And then come the 15th, if you want to travel to Alberta or anywhere else in BC, you'll be able to do that. Because I do believe going forward, after the 5th, I think it's the 2nd is the announcement, but the 5th, hopefully tentatively, is our start, fingers crossed. And as the weeks progress, we might see more and more lifting of restrictions. So just keep that in mind.
The number one thing to keep in mind is whatever rules exist in your region or in your province, that's the rule that you have to follow. Amen. So, for example, in the CFN FishOFF, you've seen in the past, people cross provincial borders. However, if the rule is once you cross that border, and let's say you have to isolate yourself for 14 days, when you cross that border, that means you're not supposed to be fishing when you cross that border, so you can't submit fish. Or let's say you don't have to isolate when you cross that border, and so you can fish and catch species that are in your province, and then you come back, and then you have to isolate when you come back, which means those fish you caught in that other province is fine, but when you come back and there's still time, like say there's a week left in that CFN FishOFF, you can't actually go fishing because you're supposed to be isolating. So we won't be able to include those fish if you're fishing when you're supposed to be isolating. So just know the rules for your own province and region and follow those rules.
Well said, Mike. Fantastic. I think that's just about it for COVID. I don't think many of us really want to talk more about it. We're hoping to see less of it going forward. So let's move on to review number 4. Mike, take it away. Measurement increments.
I think that was from last week. I don't know if it's this week. But just know that, like we've said in previous Tourney Tuesdays, make sure you have a hard measuring tape, not a ribbon tape or not anything that can fold. And we're going to the closest 1/8 of an inch. So you have to pass the next 1/8 of an inch in order for that measurement to count. Versus in the past, we've been doing 1/16 of an inch on video. Is so hard for the judges. In Dallas, you'll find out when we're going to the 1/16 of an inch, it's like splitting hairs. So we're going to the next 1/8 of an inch.
1/8 of an inch. That's right. No rounding up. So you got to reach that next 1/8 to get that 1/8.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right, Mike. Review number 4 was start date, end date.
Okay, so like Scottie said, fingers crossed, June 5th. To honor our sponsors, we are just making sure with all our sponsors that, hey, June 5th, can you give us the thumbs up? There's a couple sponsors that we are still waiting for their thumbs up, but to respect them and to respect, their contribution to the CFN FishOFF, we just want to make sure that it's a green light for them. And so fingers crossed, June 5th. And once we know, we will let the community know. But get ready, because it really looks like with basketball courts opening, marinas opening, launches opening, golf courses opening, that there's probably nothing holding us back, especially if we're abiding by COVID-19 restrictions. There should be nothing holding us back from starting on June 5th.
Buddy, you are on a roll, so I'm going to let you answer this question because I know you're going to be able to answer it the best out of the three of us. Can I affix a Rapala soft measuring tape to a hardboard?
Good question. And the answer is yes. There is soft measuring tapes that were used in the past, made by Rapala. But what we notice is sometimes when you spread it out, depending on the surface, they could get a little crimpled or kind of mushed together. So we wanted to avoid that. However, if you did affix it to your own hardboard, all you need to do is get it verified by our judging team. So if you send it to Dallas or one of our other judges with another measuring tape, just so we can line up the increments to make sure that everything is accurate, then it would be good to go. That goes for any other homemade devices. We just have to verify it.
Creativity indeed, Adele. So that is review number 4. Let us go to review number 5. Is that too quick? Did you talk about the end date? Sorry, Mike.
Oh, we didn't talk about the end date. We're getting together as a judging team. It is usually a 4-week tournament period. However, we do have TV timelines that we have to abide to. So the shortest the tournament will be June 30th. Will it be, which is a little bit shorter than 4 weeks. So know that the shortest the tournament will be June 30th. We're just waiting back to hear about our TV timelines and obligations. But we know June 5th, June 30th. It might extend to the following weekend, which is Canada Day weekend. I just have to convince the judges to do some grading during Canada Day weekend instead of fishing. If the networks say we can extend, that's the other hurdle. So there's 2 things we got to figure out. Can we manipulate the TV timelines? And if the judges are willing to work Canada Day weekend instead of go fishing.
Well, if enough judges haven't caught their largemouth and smallmouth, I know in the zones we're in, we're going to have 2 or 3 days, I think. So maybe we'll need a couple extra days and we'll put the work in to review.
I'm pretty sure that's Shao and Ken in the background throwing furniture around at their monitor right now. Number 5. Next week, we're going to be doing draws and, of course, the team. Tell us a little bit more about that, Mike.
Okay. So in terms of the draws, that referral draw, we'll get all the names. If you got referred or all the people that you tagged, like we'll put that all together. So when the tournament starts, that is the end date of our pre-tournament prize pack where you can win this. Like, this is heavy. This is really heavy. So make sure to put in all your tags and all your referrals before the tournament start date. And Dallas, I haven't told you this yet because you're new to the team. Team captains. So this summer, what we're going to do is we are going to select 3 team captains from 3 different provinces. And if anyone finishes in the top 25 in the CFN FishOFF across the country, you are eligible to be drafted by a team captain to be on the TV show. So,
nice.
Yeah, that could be anyone. So every week we will reveal who our team captains are, and all our team captains, so I'll give you a little hint, all our team captains have been on a previous CFN FishOFF, whether it's on YouTube or TV. All the team captains are coming from that pool of CFN FishOFF TV or YouTube participants. So next week we'll reveal who those team captains are. And then remember, if you finish in the top 25 and you agree, you can be drafted by one of these team captains and you'll star on your own TV show on the Sportsman Channel.
You know the best part, Dallas, is it won't be Mike or my fault for not picking the teams that go on. It'll be somebody else's.
Hey, that sounds like a great format. I love it.
Yeah. So here's a question for you, Dallas. So let's say you were a team captain. Who is your number 1 draft pick?
Oh, what? You can't do that to me right here.
Right here, right now.
I don't know you two.
You don't have to
man.
pick me. Someone else. You don't have to pick me.
Well, I've always wanted to fish with Scottie. I'll pick Scottie, but
strategically, who would your first number 1 draft pick be?
Oh, I don't know, man. I can't play favorites right before I start judging a tournament. I do have some favorites across the country. People who post some great content and catch some species I don't know how to catch. But let me sit on that one.
Well, I will say this, Dallas, for our team captains, and hopefully they're listening. Be strategic on who you pick, because things like having kids accompany you during your fishing trips can really benefit in your favor. So namely, I'm just throwing this name out there, like the Lowen family, who have 16 kids. No, I'm kidding. 6 kids. Kevin does a great job bringing them all with him, and all of their catches are going to count. So, as I said, be strategic on who you pick.
I'll buy you some more time, Dallas. Let me ask the
to have 16 kids? No way, man.
Well, so like Charles is there, Terry's there. I see Adele there. I see Erica Beeler there, and Craig. Like, I want to know, if you were a captain, who would your number 1 draft pick be? Scottie, tell Dallas who your draft pick. You revealed it the other day. Who would it be?
Yeah, I listen. At the end of the day, if how do you not pick Kenneth? Like, honestly, that guy has caught more species, in my opinion, and I don't know for sure, but most of the people who are watching combined, in terms of number of species, no offense to our audience, but what is he up to now? 700 species or something ridiculous?
No, he's approaching 1,000, 900.
1,000. So there you go. All of us combined. We're all great anglers in our own right. But when it comes to targeting species, I'm sorry. I hands down, Kenneth is number 1 in that.
Yeah, well, that's why he was my number 1 draft pick. When Red called me and said, "Hey, Mike, I can't compete in season 2," I knew what my first phone call was.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, if you want to name, then I'm going to throw Mark Elbeck out there, because I have learned so much from watching Mark's videos. So there you go, Mark. You'd be my pick.
And
we've got so many great anglers, and I love when those videos come in and they give us a little bit of teaching and, a little bit of technique, because that's why we're in this community together. We want to learn and grow with each other. And so I love seeing those posts. And
you can't count out the team drag pullers. Those fellas have done a fantastic job, 2-time CFN FishOFF champions. So, again, they're a great choice as well. How can you certainly can't discount them, or anybody for that matter, because, anybody can pull it out of the hat, as we saw in the first year with Red. Mike, as I said, talked about team anchor, like he came up in a clutch. Red was definitely clutch that year. So anyway, needless to say, yes, we will be announcing that as well as the draws. And in fact, if we do end up with a Northwest Territories team, Mike and I will figure out how we're going to do it and what it's going to be. But we will put together a prize pack to basically commemorate the fact that all of our provinces are involved in the CFN FishOFF 2021.
Let's make it happen, viewers. Let's go out and get that Northwest Territories team.
Right on.
Great.
That'd be amazing. All right, gentlemen. I think that concludes us for this week. But, man, I am excited for next week, because you're going to hear one of these team captains. And we have 3 of them. We're just confirming that they are all good to go. But I think everyone will have a smile on their faces when they know who these 3 team captains are from 3 different provinces. You know what's cool? You talked about the drag pullers. Is one captain might draft Mitch, and then another captain might draft Brandon. So then that means the drag pullers are on 2 different teams, which is going to be very interesting.
Well, the captains, as I say, Mike, are their picks are going to be very well thought out. They're going to be strategic as all heck, because you're going to want to make sure that each member of your team represents a certain number of species that they target. So, if you just pick everybody in Ontario, well, all the power to you. But if it were me, you definitely want to, someone out in the West, whether it be Saskatchewan, Alberta, BC, definitely someone from Ontario, and perhaps even the East Coast. So you never know. Like if you spread it out, good things will happen. And as I said, we have participants now in just about every province. So you've got a great pick of the litter.
Yep. All right, gentlemen. June 5th, fingers crossed. We will post it once we hear back from 2 more sponsors. And then remember, tag a friend, win this huge prize pack and everything else we showed today.
Amen. Right on. Thanks so much, Dallas, for doing this. Mike, as always, we will chat real soon, my friend.
Have a good night, everyone.